this video, we'll talk about laws of surds. Now, this is a continuation of our previous video on laws of indices. So, if you have not seen that video of laws of indices, please watch it and then come to this video. Now, if you have understood the laws of indices, you would hardly have a tough time dealing with laws of surds, which is also an important part of the subject of number system. So, let's get started. Surds are nothing but types of irrational numbers. These are those type of irrational numbers which can be written in the form of nth root of a, where a must be a rational number. For example, cube root of 5. It is a surd, which you can also write as 5 to the power 1 by 3. Similarly, something like fourth root of 12 is also a surd. What about this seventh root of this expression? Now this expression is not a surd because inside the nth root term we have irrational number. The green circle 5 plus 2 root 3 term, which is inside the bigger root term, is an irrational number. Now, like we had the rules for indices, we will have rules for surds. What are those laws or rules of surds? So our first fundamental rule is that nth root of a is equal to a to the power 1 by n. Similarly, nth root of ab. This is nothing but nth root of a into nth root of b. Similar rule we have in case of division. But before that, let's take an example for this. Cube root of 20. This you can write as per the rule, cube root of 4 into cube root of 5. Why? Because 20 is nothing but 4 into 5. So I can segregate them, apply the rule and get the answer. Some of you may argue, sir, why did we not do it like this? That because 20 you can also write as 2 into 10. So we can say cube root of 20 is cube root of 2 into 10, which is cube root of 2 into cube root of 10. The answer is, of course, why not? We can do it. So it's up to the question. I mean, what kind of question is asked, we will segregate accordingly. Now, next rule is regarding division. So we have nth root of a upon b. Like in the previous case, here also we can segregate like this. Example, again, cube root of 7 by 5. We can segregate like this. Nth root of mth root of a. This we can write as n into mth root of a. That means in the two root formats, n and m are there and they are getting multiplied. Let's see an example. Suppose we are given cube root of fifth root of 10. We can write it as 3 into 5 because in the root format we have 3 and 5. So 3 into 5 is 15. So it becomes 15th root of 10. Final rule is nth root of a to the power m. Now nth root of a to the power m, what do we do about it? Now we can write it as a to the power m whole to the power 1 by n. If you recall, the rule of nth root of a was written as a to the power 1 by n. We can write here also a power m whole to the power 1 by n. And now applying the laws of exponents or indices, we can say it becomes a to the power m by n. M multiplies with 1 by n. And this I further manipulate as a to the power 1 upon n by m. So we get n by mth root of a. It means the rule is nth root of a to the power m is equal to n by mth root of a. Example, cube root of 5 square. We can write it as 3 by 2th root of 5. Now don't confuse these things. You cannot say, or you should not say, that nth root of a to the power m is m by nth root of a. It is not that way. It is n by mth root of a. You will be amazed to know that laws of indices are same as laws of surds. And let us prove some of the laws of surds using the laws of indices. But while you do this, please remember the fundamental rule of surd, that is nth root of a is equal to a to the power 1 by n. So now nth root of ab, how do we prove that it is equal to nth root of a into nth root of b? Now we can write this expression as AB to the power 1 by n. Now applying the rule of indices, which was a into b to the power m, was equal to am into bm. So here also ab to the power 1 by n will be what? A power 1 by n into b power 1 by n. And so this becomes nth root of a into nth root of b. Simple. Likewise, we have for division. So nth root of a by b we can write as a by b to the power 1 by n, isn't it? And now we'll apply another rule of indices, which is this. And using this rule, I will get a power 1 by n upon b power 1 by n, which is nothing but this, nth root of a upon nth root of b. So we are able to prove some rules of surds using the rules of indices. I expect you all to prove the remaining laws of surds using laws of indices. Let's move on to some examples. So simplify this expression. The first and basic rule we can apply here is, since cube roots are same in both the terms, we can club them as cube root of the product, like the rule we have mentioned over there. So it is cube root of x to the power 12 into x to the power 6, and then we apply the rules further. Inside the root term we can apply the laws of indices. We will get something like this, which upon simplification will give me x to the power 6. Now in this question we should see that in the first bracket we have cube root of 6th root of something. So we will have to apply which rule? Recall the rule that nth root of mth root of a was n into mth root of a. So here also we will get something like this. So 3 into 6, 18th root of a to the power n. And similarly for the second part, 6th root of cube root of this, that means 6 into 3, 18th root of that. And then we see what? We see that both the terms are same, so powers get added. We get this, and moving further, we will get a to the power 9 by 18 whole to the power 8. And that simplifies to a to the power 4. D option. Okay, so our basic rule to be applied here was nth root of mth root of a is equal to n into mth root of a. Okay, now we have another big problem waiting for us. Here we see in most of the terms the powers are in fractions. Now in such cases, first get rid of the division symbol. We'll convert it into multiplication symbol and do the reciprocal of the second fraction. That we have done. And our next step will be that in the base, wherever you see a composite number which is not a prime number like 4 or 10 and so on, we convert them to prime factorization, prime numbers. So 4 becomes 2 squared, 10 becomes 2 into 5 and so on and so forth. We will get this kind of expression. Further, applying the laws of exponents or surds, we will get this. Like in the denominator first fraction, we have 2 into 5 to the power negative 1 by 5, which we segregated as 2 to the power negative 1 by 5 into 5 to the power negative 1 by 5. Other terms are mostly kept same. I hope you can understand all these calculations. Proceeding further, we will do what? Where the bases are same, powers are added, and where they are multiplied. And in case of division, bases are same, powers are subtracted. Continuing that rule for powers of 2s and 3s and 5s, we will get this. 2 to the power this big fractional sum and 3 to the power big fractional sum, summation or minuses, and denominator 5 to the power like this. And simplifying the fractions, I think you know how to add or subtract fractions. You can get the value. So 2 to the power comes to a simple number 1, 3 to the power even more simple number 0, and 5 to the power is minus 1. So the expression which looks so complicated can be done so easily, and the answer is finally so simple. So what is the value of this? 3 to the power 0 is 1, and denominator has 5 to the power minus 1. It goes above, it becomes numerator with the power being positive. So we finally get 10. Now, how to compare the two surds kinds of numbers? So like in this case, we have to find out which of the two is bigger or smaller. The general technique is something like this: convert them to fractional powers. So this becomes 5 to the power 1 by 3. The second becomes 7 to the power 1 by 4. Now we'll take the LCM of 3 and 4. What is 3 and 4? The denominators of the powers. In the first power, the power is 1 by 3, denominator is 3. In the second term, the power is 1 by 4, denominator is 4. So we will take the LCM of 3 and 4, which is 12. And now raise both the terms to the power 12. So we will get 5 to the power 4 and 7 to the power 3. Now we feel this is much easier to handle, much easier to calculate. And the values of these powers are like this: 625 over there and 343 over there. And now what? We know that 625 obviously is more than 343. That means our first term is more than the second term. So cube root of 5 is more than fourth root of 7. Another problem. Now here the power is not in fraction, but it's a pretty big or pretty large natural number. So we have 2 to the power 300 versus 3 to the power 200. Obviously we are not expected to find a value of this, such a large number. What we will do is we will observe the power, which is 300 and 200, and let's take the HCF of those powers, and that will be 100. Take out 100 from both the powers like this. So we can say first term is 2 cubed to the power 100 and 3 squared. Second term is 3 squared to the power 100, and since powers are same, bases can be compared. Whichever of them is smaller or larger, we can work accordingly. So 2 cube is 8 and 3 square is 9. Obviously first term is smaller and second is bigger. Okay, so these are some techniques, though they are not the final techniques. There may be more methods of solving the question depending upon question to question, but I have tried to give you some basic inputs regarding how to compare. Let's now turn our attention to more application based problems based on what we have covered so far. This is a CAT problem. All the powers are fractions and we are asked to find which of them is largest. So we'll take the first pair, 2 to the power 1 by 2, 3 to the power 1 by 3. And as usual, we'll take the LCM of the denominators in the powers, which are 2 and 3. So LCM is 6. Raise both the terms to the power 6. We will get 2 cube here and 3 square over there. And the values are 8 and 9. So we know that 8 is obviously less than 9. So 3 to the power 2 is bigger, and therefore 3 to the power 1 by 3 is bigger. Now we will compare the bigger of these, that is 3 to the power 1 by 3, with the next number, which is 4 to the power 1 by 4. And again raising both terms to the power 12. 12, how do we get 12? The powers in them have denominators as 3 and 4, so LCM of them is 12. So raising to the power 12, we get natural number powers. So we get 3 to the power 4 and 4 cube. So which of them is larger? Of course, 3 to the power 4 is bigger. So we see that 3 to the power 1 by 3 is more than 4 to the power 1 by 4. Proceeding like this, we will finally come to the conclusion that 3 to the power 1 by 3 will be larger than all the other such numbers. We can rather have a generalization also here that 3 to the power 1 by 3 is more than n to the power 1 by n, where n belongs to any of the natural numbers except of course 3. So that means I can also say 3 to the power 1 by 3 is bigger than 50 to the power 1 by 50, though it is not immediately apparent to any of us.
Thank you for watching this video. In case you have any queries regarding this video, you can always approach me on the mentioned email ID. Alternatively, you can also send the comments in the comment box.